proposals happening last hour. President Obama made a surprise visit to Capitol Hill, try and sway the Democrats, many of whom are opposed to the deal. Lisa Booth joins us from BlackRock, and she's in D.C. All right, Lisa, I don't think this makes much difference to most Americans on a day-to-day basis. I think this story is political. The Democrats are walking away from the president, and the president's relying on the Republicans for his legacy. What say you?
Well, and the legislation has become very political, because trade is something that historically, or free trade, something that historically Republicans have supported. I mean, let's face it, trade provides for 38 million jobs in America. It saves families $13,000 per year, which is why you have someone like Senator Ted Cruz, who supports the Trade Promotion Authority, which the House will be voting on. And he supports it because of those reasons.
But Democrats oppose it. Many Democrats do. They say that there is not enough, because you're going to use cheap labor overseas to bring in cheap products here, which destroy jobs inside the United States. And another thing, we hear that Nancy Pelosi is not keen on this bill because there's not enough stuff about climate change in the bill. That's extraordinary. Are we loading this thing up with all kinds of goodies from President Obama, which we don't know about, and then he's asking the Democrats to vote for it? That's extraordinary stuff.
Well, and I think you kind of hit the nail on the head here, because let's face it, TPA is something that presidents, which is the Trade Promotion Authority, which is the fast track which has been discussed, is something that presidents for 80 years have had the authority to use and to utilize. But the problem that has surfaced here is the fact that leadership and the president have been, have kept this incredibly close to the chest. And so we don't really know what is in TPA. And so I think that's the broader concern, is there seems to be this lack of transparency involved in the process.
Okay, I want to move on to something that we heard about this week, diversifying neighborhoods. The administration is trying to make it happen, using taxpayer money to shoehorn people of color into largely white, wealthy neighborhoods. Is this going to work? Is it going to happen? What's your judgment?
Well, I had heard you say that this is akin to social engineering, and I think it is to a certain extent. It's downright creepy, and the fact remains that, look, zoning has historically been a local issue, and the federal government has not and should not be involved in how these local communities are developed. Further, there are already discriminatory housing practices that are in place, and this is just another example of President Obama injecting the federal government where it doesn't belong, and and trying to usurp authority from local communities. Okay, so you're for a clean trade bill and you're against social engineering, and I'm with you on both of them. I'm for TPA. I'm with you on both of them. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks very much indeed. It's a big news day. I've got to move on real fast. Thank you very much.